Everybody, 8 minutes past and 9 o'clock right now, and we have our good friend Sheree Clark joining us in studio right now. It's time for a fork in the road, and you know, Jackie, she always brings us tips for how we can improve our health and our lives every single week. And today we're talking about something that a lot of people with the cooler temperatures that are rolling around are going to be paying attention to. We're talking about your skin and your nails.
And your hair. And it's amazing. We always talk about things you put in your body can affect so many different things. So let's talk about that, because it still feels like with the colors you brought in and the items, we're thinking fall at the same time. So how does that all work together?
Well, you know, it's funny because we just came off of summer, and Indian summer. And so when we talk about skin health, a lot of time we're talking about things like trauma to the skin, like burns and insect bites. And I've talked about those things before. Or we might talk about rashes and those, you know, those trauma again. But let's talk about overall skin health, because one of the things about skin, and also when we're talking about skin, we talk also about nails and hair, is that it's an indicator of overall and general health in the human body. So I wanted to focus on that a little bit today, and also talk about viewing it as a barometer for your overall health, and then how to address certain things and issues that go along. Sound good?
Sure.
Sounds good.
Okay. So let's remember one thing. Anytime you have a, quote, symptom in the body, it indicates something. So, for example, let's say excessive thirst. That could just mean you just need to drink more water, but it could also be a sign of diabetes. So it's important to uncover what the symptoms are masking or showing or revealing or whatever.
The root cause.
The root cause. So let's talk a little bit about skin health. If you're exhibiting signs like cracking around the mouth, dry, flaky skin, your hair suddenly goes dull, your nails get spots or ridges or start to peel, those could all be signs of vitamin imbalance and deficiency. They could also be some autoimmune disease. So it's important with the things that I'm going to be sharing with you today that you don't just take that to address any symptoms that you have, that you really go a little bit deeper.
Okay.
All right. So let's talk about, first of all, you know I'm all about nutrition, and I know that you want to eat. So let's talk about why I brought you the breakfast that I did today.
Okay.
So one of the things that's really good for skin, hair, nails is vitamin A, or beta carotene.
Right.
And so we know that when we say carotene, that this is usually a good sign that it's got some carrot, exactly. So any orange vegetable is a carotene, high in carotene containing nutrients. What I brought for you today, the juice, I think you're going to really enjoy. There's not a lick of carrot in there. No. But there are a couple other goodies.
What's in there?
Taste that, and the first one's going to be easily to discern. It's a pretty typical one.
I'll give you
orange.
Orange, okay.
Juice, yeah.
And then I've got some pear and sweet potato, which is the other.
Sweet potato.
And I don't have a sweet potato to show you because I used it up in your juice. But it's nice. It gives it some body.
That is really
and
good.
Yeah, So that is a vitamin A bomb. That is a beta carotene bomb.
Okay, by using the orange, by using a pear, and then the sweet potato.
Yes, and I'll do a little PS like I always do. When we're buying fruits and vegetables, when we can, we buy organic, and a way to tell if it's organic is to look at the label. This label starts with the digit 9, and it's 5 numerals, and so that means it is an organic orange.
So the 9 and the 5.
The 9 plus 5 number.
Wow,
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly. That's one of the ways that you know. So that's why I brought that along just to remind us that when we can, we eat organic. Okay.
So we're going to beef up your juice by bumping up the vitamin A. You can do that. Okay.
Yes,
What's
exactly.
other ways we can do that?
So then let's try our oats. Oats are also good for skin, hair, and nails. And what I did was make easy breakfast, because it's getting to be winter time, and we might want to eat oatmeal for breakfast, but we don't want to get up and cook it.
Right.
Overnight oats, I doused that in coconut milk, a little bit of cinnamon. I threw some raisins in there. No sweetener, because we're avoiding sugar as much as we can, and the raisins add a little sweetness, especially since they soaked. Delicious, good for your skin, hair, and nails. Easy to make. And then with the leftover oatmeal, you can turn it in. You've probably done this, Jackie. Turn it into a paste with honey. Put it on your face. It's a mask. We're good.
It's good for everything.
We're good, and we're
Inside and out.
Healthy and beautiful.
And I love the fact that you can do it overnight because, yeah, a lot of times it's like, oh, I would love to do that, but I just don't have time early in the morning.
Exactly.
So prep it ahead of time.
But tasty. So now you've got off to a beautiful start and a great day for your skin. Now, at lunchtime, because if we look over on my tray again, there are things other than the orange and the carrot that I referenced. We've got squash and red bell pepper. Those two are also really high in beta carotene. So a baked squash with some nuts on the top, maybe some dried cranberries would be delicious.
Okay.
I've got pumpkin seeds because pumpkins themselves are orange and the seeds are high in fat, as are avocados. So all of those things, if you think about what are hair, skin, and nails made out of, they're moisture, they need fat, they need nutrition. If all of that just is too much to bear, there are things that we can do over the counter. Remembering that, as I said, the symptoms that we might have could be an indicator that there's something wrong. I'm going to start with blood health and suggest that maybe iron supplementation might be something to try, but with a caveat. If you supplement with iron and you don't need iron supplementation, you're not putting yourself in a good place. Right. There is such a thing as too much iron.
Okay.
So let's get our blood tested. But if you decided that you did need it, there are plenty of options here in addition to our foods, but there are supplements. Another supplement I like is MSM. A lot of people take this. It's a sulfur. You will notice a difference. After you take this a couple of weeks, maybe up to a month, I absolutely notice my hair grows faster.
Oh, it does?
My nails are stronger. It's undeniably different. And I also notice a difference in joint mobility. MSM is definitely worth a try.
I haven't even heard of that.
Is that kind of going along with, because a lot of times women do that with like prenatal care or something, and they notice that, you know, their hair grows more, or nails. Is that kind of the same?
Those would probably have
idea?
Many of the supplements that are here on my tray today would be the things that are in prenatal vitamins. Absolutely.
Okay.
But don't take prenatal vitamins if you're not pregnant without consulting with an expert.
But saying that's not the only time to maybe think about yourself and your health.
Yes, exactly. You can get your beta carotene in a supplement. Far better to eat it from my tray. There is zinc is one of the things that you'll notice sometimes when you have nail issues where you have the little white specks. Sometimes that's an indication, or ridges are an indication of
zinc is wonderful. It
yes.
Really does a lot of good for your skin in general.
And especially this time of year, it's also a good immune builder. It's a good thing to help us not get sick.
Okay.
We've heard perhaps about biotin. That is also another supplement that is available. There are different brands of that. This would be a good one. 5,000 milligrams would be a good dose. And then there are proprietary blends that you can get. If these individual ones just seem like too much work to try to put together.
Right.
There are often some things that you can buy, over the counter. This one is directed especially toward hair. And while we're on the topic of hair, the things that we use, in addition to the things we ingest, the products that we use, let's read our labels. As always, this one was made specifically for thinning hair. I find it to be a beneficial product. And finally, let's don't forget that what else we do to our hair, skin, and nails is important. Hair dryers, a lot of heat. That's not good. It causes breakage. Another thing, this is something that was crazy. I noticed that the hair on the right side of my head was breaking off, and I did a little sleuthing. I have a shoulder bag. So when I put my bag over my shoulder, I'm catching my hair, and it was breaking off. And so now I'm careful to either lift up my hair and put my bag underneath, or pull my hair back, or switch sides, so at least it's broken evenly on both sides.
I have another option.
No, you did that. So lots to think about with regard to all these, but the big overriding message is let's go below the surface. If you've got symptoms, hair, skin, nail issues, in addition to addressing those things because of the cosmetic reasons that we're interested in it, let's make sure we're healthy.
Wonderful. And about this time of year too, because people are going to be turning their heaters on if they haven't done so already at home, their furnaces,
yes.
And then your skin gets very dried out. And we were talking, I remember last year we talked about, soaking in a tub. What would you suggest people soak in tubs for that?
I love Epsom salts all year round. I also like apple cider vinegar. What I don't like is bubble baths because it's a detergent and it will dry your skin out. And so speaking of that, one of the things we also do is it's going to be time soon to get the humidifier out. Make sure we keep the humidifier clean so we're not pumping mold into the air.
Right.
Keep the heat low at night. You'll sleep better. Your skin will be happier. And then, of course, you know I'm going to say this, drink plenty of water all year round, including the winter.
There you go. Wonderful.
All great advice. If people want to learn more, maybe get some recipe ideas or contribute to other ways that we can take care of our skin, nails, and hair, how can they get in touch with you?
Well, the first thing you're going to want to know is my email address, because you'll drop me a line at info@fork-road.com, and I'll answer your questions or anything that you have to say to me. And then visit my website at fork-road.com as well.
That works.
Perfect.
Wonderful. Thank you for the ideas.
You
Great,
bet.
great advice here this morning, as always. We will be right back, folks. You are watching CW Iowa Live in West Des Moines, and when we come back, folks, we're going to talk a little bit about Ballet Des Moines. Yep, they are here. Big presentation coming up.